Hey guys, Smitty here with Just Piddlin Barbecue. In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the Asmoke AS350. Stay tuned. Alright guys, this is a review of the AS350 from Asmoke. Full disclosure, they did contact me and ask me if I would do a review on this pellet grill if, you know, they sent it to me. And I said as long as I think that it's a good quality product, I'll be glad to do so. So they sent me one out. One of the cool things that I liked about it right off the bat was that I'm able to get it in orange. So that was a plus. I was pretty excited about that. So I got the orange and black one. There's lots of different color combinations that you can go with, but they did send it to me, and you know, I really wasn't sure what to expect when I got the smoker, but after putting my hands on it, after seeing a couple of other reviews, then actually seeing it for myself, I'm really pleasantly surprised. And if I didn't think it was worthy of telling you guys about it, I wouldn't have put it on the channel. So let's get into it a little bit more. The first thing that I want to do, because the questions are always asked about dimensions, how big, how tall, all that. So I'm going to get a tape measure and then we're going to go over those real quick. Alright, forgive me for the pool noise. We got the pool pump going a little bit, trying to keep it as clear as we can. Let's go over some dimensions. I'm going to do the outside dimensions first. And by the way, they did also send me a bag of their Asmoke pellets. This is the Applewood. And I like this bag because it's got a zip top at the very top, just like a Ziploc bag. So you can pour some out, zip the top back, and you don't have to worry about moisture getting in there. So I like that a lot, and I'm pretty impressed with the pellets so far too. I like them. So let's go to the dimensions. Move the bag out of the way a little bit. So the width of the Asmoke, 21 3/4 of an inch. Really, if you add the little drip thing that's on the side over here, it's probably 22 inches, 22.5 inches. So we'll go the overall width, 22.5 inches. Let's go how deep it is. And we're going to go counting the hinges. 15 1/4, counting the handle, you're probably looking at 19 inches. Okay, so 19 inches. Height, how tall is it? Let's go 16.5 inches. Okay, so that's your outside dimensions. One of the features that I really like, and it kind of affects the depth, but also just the convenience of packing it up, is that the cord actually unplugged from the back, and you can coil it up. You can put it in your trunk, put it in your toolbox on your truck, or just put it inside the grill, put the latches down, and you don't have to worry about the cord sticking out, getting hung on something. What are you going to do with the cord? So I like that. I like that feature. I wish more grill companies would start incorporating that with their pellet grills. Grease can. Here's the grease can, a lot different than say a Traeger, for example, that's an actual can. I call this more of a trough, but it just hooks right on the side. Slides over 2 screws right there, slides down on it, very secure. You've got the latches on the front, it latches down both sides. Really like that feature a lot. You've heard me talk about that feature on the Traeger Ranger. I like that as far as a tailgating type grill, camping type grill. RVers, you're going to love that feature as well. So let's get into the interior dimensions of the grill. So interior dimensions, I'm going to take this top shelf off to start off with and just go cooking space. The grill grate itself, 14.5 inches. 14.5 inches by 13 inches. So 14.5 by 13. That's my measurements. The hopper size, roughly 5 3/4 of an inch by roughly 13 inches. Now, I will say, this slanted area right here kind of diminishes the capabilities of it a little bit, the capacity, because you can't fill it all the way up here to here because your pellets are going to fall out. So it kind of starts sloping down with your pellets a little bit because you don't want them to fall out. So I wish they had went ahead and made it totally square. I don't think it would get in the way of the lid closing, but that's just how they designed it. So you've got that. And then the pellet hopper height is roughly 3 inches. So there's your dimensions. Now, the height dimension inside is going to be 6.5 inches. One other thing I want to give you a measurement on is the top shelf. You got little feet right there that just slip right over the grill grates, locks it in place. And this top shelf is roughly 12.5 by 5.5. So 12.5, 5.5 top shelf. I really didn't think that it was going to be that valuable, but I have used it a time or two, and I can see where it could come into play. If you want to cook something up here, but say put a cast iron pan on here, it'll slide right up underneath, and you still got stuff up top that you can cook on. So I do think it would be useful. Now let's talk about the internal parts of this little pellet grill. Grill grate, take that off. Now right off the bat, one of the things that you know, a lot of other pellet grills aren't going to have is the ability to cook over open flame. And I hope you can see that on camera. But you've got a way to open up so that you can have an open flame. Great for searing, great for getting grill marks, great for getting some caramelization on meats. And if you just need a direct flame under some water that you're wanting to heat up, or something in a pot, that's going to be great as well. Slide it back over and it goes back to indirect cooking. So I like that feature on here too. So let's take out, this part slides right off, and this is not like flimsy stuff. I mean, it is really sturdy. I was pretty impressed with the construction of this pellet grill. The inside, this heat deflector slides right out. Again, it is not flimsy, it is very sturdy. And then this is the internals of the AS350. Now obviously I've been cooking on it, and I wanted to, you know, run it through its paces a little bit before I brought it to you guys. So I have used it. There is ash in here, but this is kind of so you can see that, number one, I have tried it out and used it and know exactly how it works when we're cooking something. Got a little ash in the bottom. One of the things that's unique about the AS350 is that there is no bottom in the bottom of the fire pot. There's mesh rods down there that allows the ash to fall through into an ash pan. So you just take this pan out from underneath, dump it, put it back in, and keep on rocking and rolling. The other thing that I like is that it comes with a little tray that you can add apple cider vinegar, apple cider, you can add apple juice, you can add beer, you can add just plain water in here, and it creates a more moist environment so that your meat's going to take in more smoke. If you want to put, you know, you can put some bourbon in here, add a little bit more flavor to it. So a moisture pan that you can put some kind of liquid in here, add a little bit of moisture, add a little bit of flavor. Also, you've got the ash pan to help with the ease of cleanup. That tray slides right back underneath and you're ready to go again. It's a pretty cool feature. So let's quickly put this thing back together and then we'll fire it up and talk about some more features of it. There's a little tab right there that fits in this hole. So we'll slide that right down there. That fits right into place. There's a little tab right here that fits in that hole. That fits right into place. You've got your grill grate. And you've got your upper shelf. And that's it. Ready to rock and roll. Alright, so hopefully you can see everything on the screen without some glare. I'll try to make it where you can. So basically you've got a prime auger function right there to help you prime for the first time when you get it. Put your pellets in there. Get all your pellets over to the fire pot. You've got a Fahrenheit and Celsius button so you can switch between the two. And then everything else is just self-explanatory really. You've got a smoke setting. That's usually around 180 degrees. 200, 225, all the way around to high, which is around 500 degrees. So basically, start it up, put it on smoke. Now this is the directions that they give you to start it up. So I'm going to go by that. You do it how you want to. But they tell you to start it on smoke until you actually see smoke with the lid open. And then close the lid. And then you can adjust your temps from there. So that's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do. We're going to get some smoke rolling. I'm probably going to throw a couple of pieces of boudin on here today for a little snack while we watch the NASCAR race. And once it comes up to temp, I'll show you what we're going to do next. Starting to see a little smoke. That lets me know that we got a good ignition on our pellets. So I'm going to come back down here. Now I know we've got it started good. And I'm going to kick it up to about 250 degrees. The actual temp in there right now is 87 degrees. And also another feature that I like is you got this little clip right here. It does come with one meat probe, and you're more than welcome to stick your meat probe right there for storage. You can also take that clip off, put it inside when you go to carry it on down the road. Good look at the clips right there. Nice and sturdy clips for the lid. We're going to go ahead and close this lid. Let this thing come up to 250 degrees. So far, what are my overall thoughts on this little guy, the AS350 pellet grill from Asmoke? Overall, I gotta say that I'm very impressed. It's almost exceeded my expectations, because when somebody sends you a grill that is not, you know, one of the predominant names in the business, in the grill category, you really don't know what to expect, you know. And I've got to say, so far this has exceeded my expectations. Build quality is really good. Performance is really good. It's doing everything that my other pellet grills do. And I mean, it's just performing really well. A couple of things that just stand out to me that I really like. I showed you about the electrical plug, being able to detach that. I love the feet on this thing because it picks it up off of the surface that you have it on. But the actual rubber grommets that are on the bottom are secured to the bottom with screws, so they're not going to fall out. They're not little rubber caps that go over little bitty feet that are going to fall off and you're going to eventually lose them anyway. They're actually attached. Assembly was really easy. One of the things that you can tell about a cheaper product, and I'm not saying this is a cheaper product, but hear me out. When you get a cheaper product, you can usually tell it's a cheaper product because during assembly, the screw holes don't line up. You've got to kind of pry something into place so you can get a screw or a bolt in there. Everything kind of feels pretty cheap. Every single hole on this thing lined up perfectly. I didn't have to force anything into place. Everything went in solidly. Everything is solidly put together. And you know, that was one of the things that just kept going through my mind right off the bat was everything's matching, you know. It's not cheaply done. And I really like that a lot. Two things where I think that they could improve on. The only two things that I thought were kind of cheaply done was the actual trough that the grease goes into before it goes into the outside container. It is flimsy, but all it's doing is collecting grease. So it's going to do its job, but I just thought that they could have made that out of the same material they made the heat deflector out of, for example. The only other thing that I think that they could do a better job on is the lid for the hopper. The latch doesn't really latch. I mean, you can put a little pressure on it and it's going to come undone whether you undo the latch or not. And I don't really think the latch is necessary. The Traeger Ranger, for example, the hopper on it doesn't have a latch at all. It just opens and closes, you know, manually. So I think they could have done better on that. Other than that, I like the fact that it does have a felt high temp gasket around the lid, so when you close it, there's no leaks in it whatsoever. So I like that. There's a lot of positives about this thing. The biggest positive is the price. On their website, asmokegrill.com, go to their website. $379 is what it's listing right now on the website, asmokegrill.com. And put in the code SANDY10. SANDY10 gets you 10% off the grill. They were kind enough to give me a discount code for you guys. So if you go to their website and hit checkout, put in the discount code SANDY10 for 10% off. Also, I'm going to put a link, or I'm going to put it in my Amazon affiliate store on Amazon. So if you go to my Amazon affiliate store, go in the description box below, there's a link that you click on. It takes you to my Amazon affiliate store. All kinds of stuff in there. I've got categories. If you go to the grill category, it's going to be in there, because if you go to, you know, other tailgaters, they're going to be significantly more. And so far, this thing is doing everything else that the other ones are doing. So stay tuned to the channel for more cooks on this. Right now, 2 pieces of boudin on there. We're going to be eating those for lunch here shortly. Now, I know what some of you are going to ask down in the comments. Are you going to compare this to, or how does this compare to X, Y, and Z? If you want to see a comparison video, put it in the comment section below, and I'll do a comparison video between this one and some other tailgaters that I've got. So if you'd like to see that, let me know. If you like this video, you thought it was valuable to you, you got something from it, be sure to give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. I appreciate that. Hit the bell notification so you're notified every time that we put out another video. We're trying to get out more content for you guys. So I hope you appreciate that. And we appreciate you being here on the channel. So thank you. And until next time, we'll be piddling. See you.